welcome to the channel. I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to all of you that are in America or that celebrate Thanksgiving. I'm wishing you all a wonderful, blessed day with your family and friends and enjoying your day off. And today's video, I just wanted to say about how you can save on employers' national insurance contribution by looking at hiring apprentices. And as we know that the national insurance is going up next year, April 2025, and I think it's good to really start planning ahead and looking at what else you can do to try and save some money for your organization. So in the UK, there's plenty of apprentices. There's also young people that are, between 16 to 18, even I believe up to 20. Now, I believe it's a good idea, even though I do have a virtual assistant agency, which is worldwide, for example, and we have staff from all over. But I also like to be fair and talk to you as a business owner to look at this model as well, because you can get a apprentice for £7.55 per hour who's willing to learn. Yes, you're going to have to do some training, but these young people, they're really good on the internet. They can do your social media. They're good at texting. They're fast. They type fast. It's amazing because they're playing these games, right? So they're just typing really fast as you're speaking. And they're, I believe that the young people have got a lot to offer. We've just got to give them a chance. And although you may need to be supervising and training, you can do that on Google Meet and see them online with you and get them to share their screen with you, and then you can see that they're actually doing the work. Whoever it is that's going to be supervising them, they need supervising. They've just started. They're not going to know everything straight away, but it would be the same for the VA, even though our VAs are trained and we train them for 8 weeks and we specialize in healthcare, social media, etc. I'm just trying to be fair and to give you all the options that you can think of. So do like and subscribe, and I'm going to go straight into this training with you because it is such a great advantage to be able to use the younger generation today to be able to help you in your business. And look, with the rising cost in national insurance, we can't avoid it. It's here. We just have to now accept it, even though there is this petition still going on, for example. And I just want to see what it stands at the moment. So at the moment it is 2,871,781. It's just gone up 10 points. But let's look at this. We've got to be realistic, and although it may be up for debate, but I don't really think anything can really come out of this. I think that the Prime Minister and Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor Exchequer, I think they're going to be pretty stern on their stance with this, for example, with the national insurance anyway. So it will help you to increase secure your cash flow a lot better. You can also look at what strategies that you can do, and also look at what smart hiring options that you can do as the business owner. So are you worried about the national insurance increase? Of course you are. It's squeezing businesses, and a lot of people are concerned. And if you do have that option where you can look at hiring apprentices or the younger persons, for example, then look at that option. Okay, with the recent increase, as we know, announced in the UK budget, it's time to rethink and to look at how you can secure your cash flow and make smarter hiring decisions. Start it today. So I'll be exploring with you some of the practical steps and strategies that you can do to offset these costs and whether hiring UK-based workers, especially 16 to 18-year-olds, they may be a better option for your business. There's plenty of apprentice companies out there in the UK that you can start approaching to see, just get the ball rolling, to talk, just talk with them, see what it is that they can offer and what support they can give you as the owner, as well as you training the particular young person, for example. Well, I'll say adult, for example. So why really does this matter? Well, the UK government, as you know, the national insurance hike is putting pressure on businesses. And you're seeing it every day. You're seeing that they're letting big businesses are letting jobs go. People are being laid off. They're worried about the national insurance. It's going to cost like £80,000 more, for example, in a year. That's quite a substantial amount of money. And it's going to also make their budgets very tight. So you've got to look at what it is that you can do to help save money for your business for when April 2025 hits you. You're not in a difficult situation, for example. Look, I've had multiple business and I've had to close them. Some they've failed and I've had to close them, for example, because of the planning wasn't done correctly. And I don't hide that in my videos. If you've listened to my videos way back where I've had to close a business due to the recession, due to having the income cut down by half, for example, any business owner is going to stop, for example. So this is why I'm doing these videos for business recovery, to help you to think about how you can really make a stance ready for next year, so that you're strong and you're not having to let go of loads of staff members, for example. Okay, but this is for smaller businesses that I'm talking to, as well as larger organizations. They can look at these additional things as well to help with your profit and to also limit your growth. Use AI, please. Use AI. That's going to help the 16 to 18-year-olds to really be really fast and quick. They're young, they're agile, their brain is able to adapt, and they will make things, I believe, easier for you, for example. So don't worry, okay? Try to really plan, but be careful. You can secure your cash flow if you stay compliant and even find cost-effective ways to expand your team. So the strategies that you can do to secure cash flow and smart hiring is, for example, understand the impact of the national insurance, the increase, what it is. Look at what the columns and the calculations are going to be, so that you know what your numbers are. You need to break down your numbers so you know what the actual effect is, because the increase is now going to be 15% come April 2025. So earnings that are above a certain amount then is going to go up. Whereas when you look at taking on the apprentice, for example, and the 16 to 18-year-olds, then there should be no national insurance from an employer's point of view that you're going to have to pay, for example. Another way you can look at it is if you take on lots of part-time staff members, then that's going to reduce things as well. But the young persons, the 16 to 18-year-olds, for example, seem like it's more beneficial as well. For example, I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. Please do get a notepad and paper so that you're writing this down as well. So let's look at this further. So the costs will add up if you don't take action now. So if you're able to know exactly how this is going to affect your bottom line, then you'll be in a stronger position to take the first step to securing your cash flow. Now, what I'd like you to do is to run a payroll audit for your staff members, for example. I'm not talking about contractors, self-employed people. I'm talking about your staff that will be on your HM Revenue and Customs calculations. They have it on their website. You can do a forecast of what things are going to cost you come 2025, for example. That way you can break it down and know, okay, I need to save this amount of money. So I'm going to use an apprentice or a 16 to 18-year-old, for example. Look, they're based in the UK and they can work hybrid, where you get them to come in. If you've got an office, get them to come into your office, say once or twice a week. But they can work from home as long as you feel that you can trust that they're going to do the work, and have them online so that you can see them at all times along with their screen. Okay, that is one way of doing it, and that's Google Meet, and that's how we do it with our virtual assistants, for example, that we have. So the minimum wage for the younger people, excuse me, for the 16 to 18-year-olds, it's £7.55 per hour starting, for example. And it does not require employers' national insurance contribution until they're about 21. So look at that. Don't quote me for this. I'm just going from research from HM Revenue and Customs site, government site, for example, and I can put the link here in the description as well. But you can also look for yourself and speak with your accountant. You know, it's time to sort of get round the table with your accountant and say, look, this is what we are paying out on our payroll. What can we do to reduce this greatly so that we're not paying 15%? Because that 15% is going to affect your bottom line. It's going to affect your profitability if you don't get it under control now, for example. So some of you may be running a healthcare business, for example, or maybe you've got a retail shop that you are looking at customers, and you've got younger workers that can handle entry-level tasks efficiently, effectively, while saving you significant overheads. So the apprentices can deal with the mundane tasks, repeatable tasks, should I say, and that's going to save you a load of headache, but also they've got a job, they're happy for the job, and you're paying them £7.55 per hour. And you can provide flexible, low-cost options for your business. That's what you've got to look at. Things that aren't highly skilled, for example, then look at putting in a 16 to 18-year-old, for example, an apprentice, a young person, for example. Okay, so look at the government funding to cover, to see if there's any training costs as well that you can claim back for the young person, for example, the adult. I won't say just young person, because a young person can mean 10 years old. So I'm on about 16 to 18-year-olds here. Use part-time roles. That's what I would do. I would consider shifting some full-time roles to part-time roles or freelance positions to reduce your payroll taxes and other overheads. Get contractors in who are self-employed. Just like us in business, we are we work with people and then we're waiting for them to pay us. And sometimes if they don't pay us, then, it can affect your cash flow. Okay? So look at reducing your payroll so that if things like that happen, then you've got a cushion. You've got a cushioned net. I mean, I'll explain one of my circumstances is that you have to be very careful if you're using PayPal, for example, because PayPal can block your money. It can limit your money as well. And then suddenly you can't access that money, which can affect your cash flow. Okay? So another thing that you can do is to evaluate what the roles are in business. And this could be filled by your apprentices or younger workers to cut costs without compromising on quality. Try and get clients to pay money into your bank account. That way you've got access to it and you're not paying the fees that PayPal and things like that charge as well, because you're making a loss when you do that. And sometimes you may have to wait for that money to become available, or maybe they may say, right, we're holding on to your money for 30 days, or we're holding on to it for 90 days, or we're actually going to hold on to it for 6 months. We're limiting your account, for example. So be very mindful of who is paying you your money. Okay? It's important though that you make sure that the staff members are doing the workload as well. Like, for example, with us, we record conversations that we have in our meetings. We also take notes as well. The client also gets a copy of the video, and we also expect our clients to do the work as well once we send the video. It's not about work is being done and nothing is being done on the client's point of view. So everyone's got their roles that they're doing. So with your apprentices and your younger persons, for example, younger workers, then you need to make sure that they are doing the work, because you are not there to pay people just to sit and not do anything or just do what they feel like doing. Another thing that you need to think about is consider remote and hybrid work options. That can be very good. It can reduce your office costs, like I did the video earlier, which is kind of leading on to this section here. Reducing your need for a physical office space can redirect funds to cover running costs like your national insurance. So it's about sometimes you have to swap things around to make sure that you've got money for that particular thing. So like I said, look at the office space that you've got, see whether you can reduce the office space or whether you can get rid of the office space. If so, when can you get rid of it? Maybe you've got something where you need to give 3 months notice or 6 months notice, but start implementing it like now, for example, and then your staff can work from home. They'll be a lot more happier. It's hybrid. Or you just get a smaller office where it's got 1 or 2 desks, for example, and then you don't have any more staff members go in on a certain day. So 2 days a week you could have 1 day a week you could have 2 staff members go in 1 day a week, hybrid. Then the next set of staff can go in on a Tuesday, for example. Then the next set of staff can go in on a Wednesday. Do you get it? So that way you're saving money on a big office and all these lights, etc. Hybrid working, remote working is always, I believe, is the best option. Virtual assistants as well as independent contractors. You're not having to pay tax, national insurance or holidays. So think about that as well. The independent contractors, they're self-employed, and that's how it is, for example. So look at securing your cash flow. So manage these by raising costs effectively. Focus on stabilizing your cash flow. See if you can negotiate payment terms. Ask your vendors for longer payment windows or early payment discounts, for example. That way you're going to save money. Another thing that you can do is streamline your expenses. Cut unnecessary spending such as office perks or underused software like I mentioned the other day. Subscriptions, get rid of them. You don't need them if you're not using it. Create a financial buffer. Set aside a portion of your revenue each month into a cash reserve. And then you can also look at creating a cash flow planner template. Now we provide this in our new bootcamp, which is the Business Recovery Bootcamp, where we provide these templates, but I would love for you to book a free 15-minute consultation. The link is in here for you to book, and you'll be able to speak with me, and I'll be able to talk to you about getting started and managing your expenses better in preparation for April 2025, for example. So I hope that you've enjoyed this session today, and I would love to hear how you feel about the impact of national insurance increase in your business. I'd love for you to share your story if you're able to in the comments here, and I would love to hear how you're going to be navigating this challenge. What have you picked up from this video that I've done today? Where is it that you're going to look at that's going to help you to save money, for example? So don't forget to put in the description that you are going to be looking at starting your budget and working smarter, budgeting smarter today, because we need to really prepare and be ready for when the April 2025 hits us. Like I said earlier, got to be like a Navy SEAL, Team 6. Be strategic in your business. That way you're not going to get hit like I did when the recession hit me hard, and it hit a lot of people hard. This way you can plan before any of this hits you, so that you're not actually impacted. You just change things around. So I will be going into some more training, and I hope that you've enjoyed today's session, because I really wanted to talk to you about creating, the young people, they've got so much to offer. They're very fast, they're very quick. Things that would take you a week or even a month to do, they could do it in a week. They're so fast. There's lots of information out there where you can save money on employers' national insurance contributions by hiring apprentices. It really will make a difference, and I'm saying that to you because I want you to be able to look at those options as well. So I hope that you've enjoyed today's training. There's lots of calculations as well that you can go onto HM Revenue and Customs website, PAYE for example, and see the difference and see what savings you can start doing now, so that you can cope when April 2025 hits us. Okay, so I hope that you've enjoyed today's training, everyone, and thank you for being here. My name is Christine Crowle, and I look forward to the next video. I will see you on the internet, and I'm going to be doing lots of video trainings as well.